Hey everyone, as you saw in the last video, there are a lot of little blemishes in this car and I want to get that taken care of. And also I want to add some things, just a slight modification or protection to this car. And also I want to show you some accessories that we bought just to make our life a little easier. So as you saw in the last video, there were two noticeable cracks in the windscreen here and here. And I've already used the Permatex kit to help fill it in, and as I can tell, it is a little bit smoother as it used to be and a little bit filled in, but you can tell that the chips are still here. And I only think that's because these glass is like multiple layers thick, so it only like cracked the first surface, and maybe it seems like it got down to another layer which I can't reach, but I did the best that I could, and hopefully that just keeps that from expanding. So the next thing we got to work on is this cover here and get a string to tie to here. And I was able to find this string. Looks pretty nice, but it's a little bit thicker than the original one. But I don't think it should be an issue since this one here is just so wide. And this hole here is pretty big. Initially I was thinking I'll just tie a knot down here to just get it tight. And then I was thinking I would feed it down here into a button just to like hold it tight. But the problem with that is no way I would think that a thick string would fit through these kind of holes, and that I'd tie it perfectly, that the tension would match on the other side. So when it pulls up, it would either be useless or uneven. So I thought of a pretty smart solution here. It would be these. And these are like what you would find in a sweater. So it should be able to be adjustable. And yeah, let's give this a try. So I started by just measuring the string to match it with the other side, but giving it a little extra length just in case I make any mistakes. As you can tell, the side I cut is pretty frayed compared to the factory cut, but I'll deal with this later. I tried a floating knot for the upper loop, but I realized I didn't really know how to tie that, or my brain just wasn't braining at the time. So I decided to pivot. Why not use the string lock on the top also? The only issue now was that I waited too long and the string got even more frayed, so I had to make another cut to clean it up, then burn it to melt the end together. So feeding the string through the lock is a bit harder than I thought, since the string is only a little bit smaller than the hole, so I had to use pliers to pull them through. Now I just tied a knot to keep it from coming through over time. After that, I did the same for the bottom. Had to feed the string through the lock twice and adjust to a good tension to where it seemed to be even with the other side. Alright, so here it is, and this is probably the best I can come up with. I'm just going to leave this here, the extra slack, just in case. And the same goes up here, just in case I want to use that extra string one day, just for adjustments. But I think this will hold for now. Hopefully it gives it some better balance and stability. So yeah, I think it's pretty good for now. Now moving on to the rear, I wanted to add a bumper protector just so we don't damage the paint when we load things in and out of it, since my wife frequently rolls a cart in and out of the trunk for work.
I chose this one here because it was the only one I found to have extended to where the bumper curves instead of the other ones that just protect the top flat part. I think that little detail will help preserve the car for years to come. As you saw, I started by cleaning and prepping the surface to be taped down. I didn't have the clothing measuring tape on hand, so I tried this first, but it just wasn't cutting it, trying to measure this curved part. So I thought instead, why don't use the leftover string and just keep moving it around until the string length is equal on both sides. Once good, I marked the location down with masking tape. I've never attached anything with the double-sided tape before, but I think the proper way to do this is to peel it off a bit to where you can still peel it off from the top once placed down. And just like that, it's done.
Alright, so what do you think? I think it looks pretty good and pretty seamless. I know up close when I was feeling it that there was a slight warp right here, but sorry, I'm not going to go through any of the hassle trying to return it or anything like that. So it is what it is. Cool. You think now it fully protects the rear bumper when the dog gets in and out of the car, or if my wife puts a cart into the trunk, any bashing here will protect the paint.
In the last video, I showed you that all the wheels had curb rash on them since I bought the car. So now I'm just going to cover it up. I'm not really looking to do a full repair to these wheels since I don't really care too much about these wheels, plus the wheels are black. You'd have to be staring at these up close to really notice the cover up. I just needed the wheels to have an overall black look without the noticeable silver scuffs. I had some leftover black touch-up paint laying around, so I simply just brushed it on, making the overall appearance, in my opinion, a lot better. Next, I wanted to clean up the look of the car by removing the front plate and putting some paint-matched plugs in there. Sounds simple enough, but when I finally got the plate off, the screw holes had made a big bump and the plate holder had etched a rectangle in the paint. This was quite annoying, but I wasn't really prepared to deal with this at the time. So getting to what I was prepared to do was to put the plugs into the holes. On the site, it said that I most likely would have had to drill a bigger hole into the bumper to fit the plugs, but I kind of thought that it defeated the purpose of getting these plugs. I didn't want to do any more damage to the bumper, so I bought some really coarse sandpaper ready to shave the plug down. But after doing this for like half an hour, progress was slower than I thought it would be. So I stopped and asked my friend to borrow his Dremel, which I have never used before. He recommended me using pliers to hold it, and I can definitely see why. Just because how much faster it was shaving off the plastic, it could have easily shaved down the skin on my fingers. And I would definitely recommend wearing eye protection too if you've never used this before, since the particles fly everywhere. Anyways, thanks to the Dremel making quick work of it, I was finally able to fit the plugs in. I also showed my friend the etch marks on the bumper. He recommended I try a scratch remover. Again, not ever doing this before, I don't think I made too much of a difference. I think the damage is a little too deep, but I think at least the paint around the etches are cleaned up a bit. Maybe. Kind of hard to tell. I'll deal with this problem in the future, and give me some suggestions if you have any for this.
So if you remember the last video, there's still some gunk up in here that I need to clean out. Let's see if I can do that with a toothbrush. I'm not really sure if anything is coming out of there. Might be a little little too hard to get out. So let me go get something to spray in there and go from there. The brush does seem to be getting dirty, but I'm not sure where the dirt is going. So it still looks wet in there for now, but I think it does look slightly better than it did before. But we'll have to see when it dries up.
So the last thing I wanted to do today was to put some film on the headlights to protect it from chips, scuffs, and slow down the yellowing process. But after trying to follow the instructions, it turns out I don't have the skills or the patience to do this. Maybe if the surface was completely flat, I would be fine, but man, I cannot deal with these curves with the wrinkling it causes. That's kind of why I didn't wrap the dashboard in the Z4 and just bought the aluminum trim instead. Oh well. Yeah, so as you saw, a lot of little subtle little changes that are probably barely even noticeable. Yeah, the front bumper was just plugged up, and from a distance you really can't tell the scuffs, I guess, or the plugs until you get closer. And same goes for the wheels. They are still scuffed, but I just painted black over them, so I think they look a lot better. The windows are now tinted just because my wife really wanted that for privacy. And also, the chips are also still there on the windshield, but hopefully it just doesn't expand as much. And getting over to the back, there is now a protector there, which I think blends in pretty nicely since that black kind of matches, the black plastic cladding of the wheels. And finally, I fixed the trunk string so it's a little bit more balanced, and hopefully there's more reliability when it works. And let me walk you through the accessories that we got since owning the car. And one of those things are the floor mats. We got these plasticky type liners, which I do really like because they ride a little bit higher than the factory ones that this car came with. And I like mats that aren't really close together because no rocks get stuck in there. Easy to vacuum and just easy to wipe. And then that came with the one in the back also, which I like because there was just carpet here and nothing protecting the middle, and this is just one piece. And this also came with the whole trunk and back seat liner, which are really useful because every time our dog gets in the car, we lower the seats and he can stand on it, so it doesn't really get the carpet dirty or anything, which is really nice to have. And as you saw from me taking the toothbrush in here, it looks a lot better and cleaner now that it's dry. And another accessory we got, obviously just regular stuff, a sunshade that actually fits the windshield, because it's annoying when you have like those accordion ones and it just comes out at you. It doesn't even fit the windscreen, or you can't even lock it in place with the sun visor, And what's nice about that one was it came with this storage bag that also fits over the steering wheel, just to keep your steering wheel cool. And the last thing we got was a MagSafe
phone charger. As you saw, maybe you saw in the Corolla that we had a vent mounted one here, but I think this is a much more out of the way solution, elegant solution. Even though we do obviously lose one cup holder, we just didn't want anything up here in the way. And especially since we didn't need the phone to be used as like a navigation, since this car has CarPlay. I know other people may need it if they don't have that, because there's mounts like for here which would block the screen, or there would be one right here. And I just want a solution that would just slap the phone on and then we're ready to go and it would already start charging, instead of, you know, grabbing the wire, plugging it in with two hands and then slapping it somewhere. So I think that is it for the car. Let me know what you think. I know it's very small, very subtle changes, restoration, slight modification, fixes, and some accessories. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.